What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fight Ran Live, episode 13. We're here today, Franklin, GI, and me. We're going to talk about UFC Fight Night 88, and we're going to talk about this crazy Shane Mosley fight that's happening tonight. UFC Fight Night 88 is tomorrow night. So let's kick it off with UFC Fight Night 88, because that is definitely the more entertaining card. I think it's going to be an amazing card. Franklin, you should kick us off with that. We'll do our DraftKings predictions, and we'll talk about who we think is going to win and how.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, by the way.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Yes. And this is the UFC Fight Night, Almeida versus Garbrandt, Sunday, May 29, 2016. Online prelims start at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Fox Sports 1 prelims start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And the Fox Sports 1 main card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And this is pretty much being called the sleeper fight card of the year. It's great card, just great fights, great matchups. It should be, on paper, and just this is what everybody's expecting, it should be a heck of a fight night there. Just
best part of this
probably
card,
multiple fight of the nights and stuff.
best part of this whole card is everybody actually made it to the actual event so far.
No injuries. You know who had an injury? Tarec Saffiedine. He had a cut to the knee. They thought that he was gonna have to pull out, but he's good. He's good to go. All right, let's start with the first fight for the Fight Pass prelims. Chris De La Rocha, 3-1 versus Adam Milstead, 7-1 heavyweight fight. 75 inches height. Same height. De La Rocha 10 pounds over him, 250 over, and Milstead is 240. I see it as being going all 3 rounds. Decision fight. I see Milstead edging it out and taking that fight. So for the DraftKings guys, everybody making the picks, we're gonna be making our picks here also while we go through the fight card. But I have personally myself, I think that Adam's gonna edge this out. It'll go a 3-round decision. What about you?
I actually have it the other way around. I think Chris is gonna end up getting the decision win. It's pretty even match, so this would be one of those that I wouldn't actually bet on, because you don't know who's gonna get any points out of that unless you do a haymaker bet. That might work out in your favor. But yeah, Chris De La Rocha, I'll go with him for decision win.
I got Milstead by decision.
Milstead? All right, so 2 for Milstead by decision and 1 for De La Rocha.
I watched somebody get knocked out in the first round.
I mean, it's heavyweights. It can happen.
Yeah.
Second fight is pretty much like the headliner for the Fight Pass. Great fight. Aljamain, the Funk Master there, Sterling, versus Bryan Caraway, Miesha Tate's boyfriend. This should be a great fight.
I'm not sure if he likes to be called Miesha Tate's boyfriend, but yeah, we'll go with that. I guess.
I think that's how 99% of the folks they know him already. we have Aljamain Sterling 12-0, Bryan Caraway 20-8. Bryan Caraway, he's tough. He might not be I guess a ratings friendly fighter, but he's tough. His grappling is legit. He can very easily win a fight. But I have Aljamain. He's like an upcoming star, undefeated. This is the guy actually that stepped up to Mayweather when Mayweather was trying to take his girl, and Mayweather, he wanted no part of that. But Aljamain, I think he wins. I have this by second round knockout. What do you guys have?
I have Sterling. I think he'll get the Funk Master will get the win. I think it's too much pressure for Bryan to be Amisha's boyfriend. He's gonna lose the fight because of that. All this pressure, man. It can't be the Cupcake's boyfriend, Kid Lightning. So, Sterling, I think, is gonna end up getting the win on that one. Emotions matter a lot, guys. It matters, okay? It matters.
How's he winning?
You have Sterling too, Lee?
Yeah, I got Sterling. It's unanimous here. I'm gonna take.
Go
ahead, Gi. Tell him how Sterling wins.
I think I would go with a submission for Sterling. He's not a big KO fighter. So yeah, I would think a submission, maybe in the second round. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I'm gonna go Sterling by submission in the second round too.
Yeah.
So we all got second round.
But we all pick Sterling?
All Sterling, all second round. I mean, for you guys that don't play DraftKings out there, the reason we pick the rounds is because it helps people with points. You know, when the fights end earlier, you get more points for it. So that is kind of why we try to throw the rounds in there and give full-on picks like that, just so y'all know.
Hey, sorry about that, kid Lightning. If you're watching, I mean, it's even. I know it's more pressure that we're not picking you, but hey, you got a lot to prove. You're 20-0. No, you're 20-8. Sorry, I saw the O on the end and the 8, but you're 20-8, so that's not bad. That's good actually.
Caraway's not a bad fighter. You know, it's just Sterling is a monster, man. Like, that dude is talented, really talented. You know.
Yeah,
I kid about that a lot, but you think that actually bothers him at all? That we know him because he's Miesha Tate?
But he's not going to say anything about it. I mean, Miesha Tate always gives him props for handling everything well. I mean, everybody gets on him because he's like a funny character, man. Like, wow, you have Miesha Tate? Everybody loves Miesha Tate. So they get on him a lot just because of that. I mean, but supposedly he takes it well. That's what she says. It takes a lot to be able to hang with Miesha, huh?
Yeah, well, hopefully he doesn't take it too hard, and it's because if we're talking about it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is talking about it as well, so hopefully he doesn't take it too hard and doesn't affect his performance level in the ring. Yeah, good luck in that fight, but we're all going with Sterling. What do we have next?
Good luck on the fight, but we're all going with Sterling.
Well, that's the end of the Fight Pass prelims. Then we go to Fox Sports 1 prelims. There's only 2 fights
Fox
in the Fight
Sports
Pass
1 prelims. Yeah, we have Erik Koch, 14-4, U.S., and then versus Shane Campbell. He's from Canada, 12-4. I'm going with the American by second round knockout.
You going with Koch, second round KO?
Koch, yep.
To me, this is one of those fights that I wouldn't play in DraftKings because I think both guys are pretty even here. It's anybody's fight.
It is.
So I'm gonna say that I'm going with Shane Campbell. Probably I'm gonna say Campbell by decision, and I would leave that fight alone if you're playing on DraftKings. Because like I said, it's even. If Koch wins, I'm not surprised, but I'm just gonna roll with Campbell on this one.
I'm gonna go with Campbell in a submission. I would say maybe end of the second round submission. Yep.
All
right. Next fight up is Jake Collier, USA, 9-3 versus Alberto Uda, 9-0 from Brazil. I have Alberto Uda winning this fight, three round decision. He stays undefeated, moves up to 10-0. How do you guys have this fight going?
This again is going to be another tough pick because they're pretty even. They're very even, actually. I'll go with Brazil, and I think this will be a decision win as well.
What about you, Lee? What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Uda also. I'm gonna go Brazil. I think pretty even fight, and I'll give it to him by decision.
So we all have it for Alberto Uda. I guess we all have him remaining undefeated, moving up to 10-0. And next fight coming up, we have Abel Trujillo versus, he's 14-6 versus Jordan Rinaldi, 12-4.
I'm going with Rinaldi.
Rinaldi.
I don't care if Trujillo wins. I'm going with Rinaldi because Trujillo, if you look at Trujillo, he looks like he's a monster. He can destroy anybody. Then you become a fan, somewhat of a fan, and all of a sudden you watch his fights. He gets his ass whooped. I think out of the 6 fights that I've seen of his, it's probably all the 6 that he's lost. So I'm not going with Trujillo anymore. I'm going to go with Rinaldi. And let me see. I've seen him get. Did he get submitted? I think he got submitted once, and he got knocked out also. I'm going to go with a submission. End of the 3rd round, because he can last, but he doesn't. It's like the old 90s Knicks. You know, they get to the finals and then they choke out. And that's probably what's going to happen. He's going to choke out once he gets to the final 3rd round.
I mean, I understand. I kind of agree with Gi. I was a big fan of Abel, but it's weird with him. I mean, it's like he's either on or off. He knocks you out or he gasses out and then he gets beat. I'm still going with Abel Trujillo, though. I call it a 1st round knockout. I'm going to roll with him. I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel he's going to pull this one out and knock the guy out in the 1st round.
I'm going Abel Trujillo, 1st round KO.
Okay, so two for Trujillo. I knew Gi wasn't taking them.
No. And you see, that's the problem with Abel Trujillo, too, that if you ever go for him, it's got to be a 1st round win, because he's not if he gets past the 1st round, he's not going to win. He never does.
He throws so many haymakers that he winds up gassing out. Everything he throws is pretty much to freaking put your lights out. Yep. Next fight up, this is a real good one. Sara McMann versus Jessica Eye. Sara McMann, 8-3. She's the Olympic silver medalist in wrestling. Versus Jessica Eye. She's from Cleveland. She trains with Stipe Miocic. She has good boxing. This should be a good one. This is a fight that kind of has it's pretty much where are they going to go after this? Let's see if they're going to keep moving up or if they're going to move down. Let's see what's going to go. This is kind of an interesting fight for both of them there. So Sara McMann, I think, takes this one. I think she ground and pounds her and finishes her by the 2nd round. It'll be a tough fight, but that's what I see happening there for that fight there. Sara McMann, 2nd round, ground and pound stoppage.
I don't think this is gonna be a ground and pound stoppage kind of fight. I think it's gonna be a war between the two, and it's probably gonna be a decision win. Jessica Eye she's not an easy bake oven, like I would say. She's not someone that's going to be taken out really quickly, and she has the strength and the courage to make it through all 3 rounds. She could probably even do a championship fight without a problem either. So Sara McMann, she's also great, but I'm gonna stick with Jessica Eye on this one. I'm just rooting for her. I think she deserves a win again. Hopefully, a decision win will make us see that she's not just a stepping stone. Pretty much, that's the way I see her so far.
What about
that's
you,
the way that I see people thinking of her. So,
I got.
What about you, Lee? Lee's over there cracking up.
No, look, it's a good fight, and again, this is a fight where I wouldn't necessarily stay away from it in DraftKings, but if you're only playing one card and only one game, I'll stay away from it. But if you want to mix and match either way, I'd be fine with that. Like make one card with one girl and one card with the other. But me personally, I'm taking Sara McMann. I'm gonna have her winning in the 3rd round by ground and pound stoppage. I think Jessica I will keep it standing enough early on, and she'll make it into the 3rd before she ends up on the ground and outclassed by McMahon's wrestling.
All right, cool. So we have the next fight.
I like this next one.
Yeah, the next fight, this is a good one. It should be exciting. We have Joshua Burkman, 29-12 versus Paul Felder, 11-2. They're both real good. I'm rolling with Paul Felder though. I call this one a 2nd round knockout. Paul Felder is tough as heck, man. Great chin also. I see him taking this one 2nd round knockout.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Felder too. Did he get a submission the last win he had? I think he did. I think he did get a submission in the last fight he had. The last fight I saw him in, which is not something that he's known for.
I can't recall. Yeah, I can't recall. It might have been though.
But yeah, I love this guy. This guy's tough as nails, man. And Joshua Burkman, he's pretty good as well. But I'm gonna go with Paul Felder. I'm gonna say a 2nd round knockout. Yeah, 2nd round knockout.
Hey guys, that's also the first fight on the main card, right?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, we switched off of the prelims to the main card right there. For me, I'm also gonna go with Felder, and I'm gonna say that Felder wins by knockout in the 1st round. Actually,
First round
KO.
Yeah. It could happen. I mean, it could happen. Felder's no joke. Next fight is another great fight. Jorge Masvidal, 29-10, with a lot of losses that should have been wins. He's always got the short end of the stick. Versus Lorenz Larkin, another great striker. This is going to be a great fight. This is going to be pretty close. I have to roll my boy Jorge Masvidal though. I see him winning this one. I can't even see a knockout. They're both so good. They're both just great strikers. I say Jorge Masvidal. He pulls off the decision.
Okay.
What about you, G.I.?
I'm gonna go with Larkin. I'm gonna say he's probably gonna get a late second round or early 3rd knockout.
Wow. What about you, Lee?
I got Larkin 3rd round KO.
Wow. Also, look at that.
I mean, look, I like Masvidal. I just think
show him.
I like Masvidal, and again, this is another fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Masvidal wins. And if you were playing multiple cards in DraftKings, I'd take them both. Switch them around on the same card. That's a good fight. So it's a great fight. I think this might be fight of the night, honestly, just because of all the striking potential. I'm hoping that it goes 3 rounds before somebody gets knocked out. That would be because that means you're just gonna see a whole bunch of ass whooping going on.
Yeah, it could be. Next fight is another good fight. Chris Camozzi, the ex hockey player, 23-10 versus Vitor Miranda. That's another tough one here.
Yeah, very tough.
Another tough one. I'm gonna roll my boy Camozzi 2nd round knockout also. It could go either way. It's so even there. But I'm rolling with Camozzi.
That's what's really cool about this.
I'm gonna go with.
It's tough to pick fighters,
Yeah, this is tough, man.
These guys are almost every fight on this card is so evenly matched. Like UFC is almost always evenly matched to a degree, but this card is just ridiculously evenly matched, like on almost every single fight.
And it's pretty much kind of like either guy can shut the lights out of either guy. So it's
Yeah.
It's not like you're thinking, okay, this one can win by grappling, submission, taking him down. No, it's kind of, it can just go either way regardless, any aspect.
I'm gonna go with Miranda, and this will be a second round knockout win for him. The guy's accuracy and defense is ridiculous compared to Camozzi, and his knockout percentage is also off the charts. So I'm gonna go with him on this one.
I'm coming out.
The next one.
Hold on, I'm coming out on my pick for this one with a little bit of a different take on it here. I like Camozzi, but I think he gets knocked out in the first round by Miranda. He just gets caught. Goes out. First round KO. Vitor Miranda wins.
Camozzi, I'm hanging with you over here, Camozzi. Don't let me down, man. All right, next fight coming up, another banger, another great fight. Tarec Saffiedine, 16-4 versus Rick Story, 18-8. Both legit, both good. They're just legit all-around MMA fighters. I'd say Tarec, he's a better striker though. But man, Rick Story is good. He's tough also. I'm rolling with Tarec though. I call it a third round knockout by Tarec Saffiedine.
I'm gonna go with Story. It's gonna be a third round decision win. It's gonna be a decision win, actually. Yeah.
What about you, Lee?
Saffiedine by second round knockout.
Yeah, that should be a good one. And then another great fight. Renan Barão, the guy that was undefeated for about 10 years. He was the bantamweight champion up until freaking TJ Dillashaw beat him twice. Those are his only 2 losses in 10 years. He's moving up to 145 for the first time.
His last fight was a loss.
What happened?
His last fight was a loss, wasn't it?
No, I believe it was a win.
Okay, Barão. Okay.
And I believe, because I know he lost to TJ.
I think I remember him coming in dancing. He came in dancing real happy, and then he went out.
Yeah, because he fought TJ Dillashaw twice, and then both times he got beat.
Okay.
So let me see here. Okay, so Jeremy Stephens, 24-12. Jeremy Stephens is a freaking bull. He's an animal, man. That guy hits like a Mack truck. Also, he's tough as heck. This is a bad fight for Renan Barão, man. This is tough.
It is. This is a tough one.
I'm gonna roll with Jeremy Stephens. I call it a first round knockout by Jeremy Stephens. He's gonna surprise everybody.
I don't think it's that hard. I think Barão is gonna get a first round knockout on this one. I think he needs it. He needs to push, and he knows he needs to push to get back in there. And this is probably one of those fights that is made for him to win. So I'm gonna go with Barão, first round knockout.
Barão. What about you, Lee?
To me, this is another. I mean, they're all so close. This is like really tough to decide and pick because you could just see it ending either way. On this particular fight, I think I gotta go with Barão though. I'm gonna take Barão by second round knockout.
Okay. Jeremy Stephens is tough as heck, man. Has a chin. He hits like a Mack truck, bro.
He does.
It's gonna be a good fight.
I think if Stephens wins, he wins in the first round. I think if he doesn't get him out in the first round, then that means Barão can take his shots, and Barão will finish him in the second, maybe the third. But for my official pick, I'll go Barão in the second.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. And then the main card. This is a great fight. Great fight. Thomas Almeida, Brazilian, 21-0, legit as all heck, always has these crazy wars, and he winds up winning. He's a great striker. Muay Thai, kickboxing, all around, just great striker. Versus Cody Garbrandt, also undefeated, 8-0. He's a freaking beast. He hits like a freaking sledgehammer also. He's been a boxer and wrestler since he was a kid. His uncle is an Olympic boxer. Had him boxing since he was a little kid. He's like 34-1, I believe, in amateur boxing. And he's also been wrestling high levels since he was a little kid. Kind of like Stipe Miocic, but lighter weight, bantamweight. This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. I just see this being a barn burner, and I see Cody Garbrandt knocking out Thomas Almeida in the first round.
What?
That's what I'm rolling with.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. What do you think, Gia?
I don't see that. I see Almeida getting if not a first round knockout, a second round KO. Almeida get a KO in the second round.
What about you, Lee?
For me, it's a really tough fight too. You know, definitely a tough fight to pick winner for. The difference to me is experience at this point inside. They're so evenly matched, and I wouldn't be surprised if Garbrandt catches him and knocks him out. I really wouldn't. But I really do think that Almeida has the experience advantage here, and without that lightning punch in a bottle or kick or whatever, Garbrandt is not going to win this fight. I just think that it's not that he's not better or as good. I think he needs more fights before he fights a guy like Almeida. That's just how I see it. He's probably doing this a little bit too early in his career. They gave him this fight. So I'm going to say Almeida wins probably by early third round KO for Almeida.
Third round, okay.
Cody, pull this one off, bro. I know you can do it. Cody's legit,
listen, guys,
man. He's legit,
you guys
bro.
out there doing DraftKings. This is a card, man, where you need, you know, if you're going in there with $3 and making one lineup, you better get really lucky. Because I tell you what, look at how we're usually not quite this divided. Everybody's got, you know, almost every fight is 2-1. You know, and it's different. There were times where it's 2-1, where me and Franklin picked the same guy, and GI's got somebody different. Times where GI and Franklin got the same guy, I got somebody different. You know what I mean? Like, so this is something that's really difficult to pick, even for people that watch and study the sport all the time. I mean, even other MMA fighters, when you look on Twitter, who are, you know, being asked questions about who they're picking, they got different picks. This is probably, in my recent memory, the most evenly matched card across the board that I can remember. So I think if you're going into DraftKings to just have a little fun and you're going to play $3 or $6 or something, then go ahead, take a chance, you know, make a lineup. But you need to strike lightning in a bottle with only one lineup. In order to win this is going to take some cash if you want to make some cash on this one, because you're going to have to put in probably, you know, 10, 15 lineups, whatever you can come up with. 15
lineups.
You know, that gives you different options and strategize it as you lay it out. Because there's not...
Yeah, I agree.
There's not a single fight on this card where I just sit here... Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't say a single fight. You know what? Because this card is so tough, let me go through something here real quick. If there's one guy that I really would have to pick on this card, it's Aljamain Sterling. If I'm picking one dude that I really feel like is got the best chance to definitely win, Aljamain Sterling. So that would be my singular pick for a guy that I would throw in most of my.
And even that was tricky though.
Yeah, even that's tricky. But if I had to pick a guy to throw across almost all my cards, it would be him. The problem is I don't see him winning early, so you're not getting all those points. You know?
And then Brian, the longer it goes, Bryan Caraway, the better he gets. and they can drag you down to the floor, submit you or something. That's a tough one too. But it's true, yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I still wouldn't have or if I was making a bunch of lineups, I still wouldn't have a card that has like I would have at least one with Caraway in it anyway. But you know, my best feeling picks. If I had to give you 3, let's give 3 to everybody. Best feeling picks. It doesn't mean, and you're gonna see. I guarantee we're all gonna be different. But 3 out of the 5 fighters that I would probably put in most of my cards in DraftKings would be Aljamain Sterling, Barão for me. I'd pick Barão, and again, that's tough, you know. And honestly, for me, just off of the experience, I'd go with Almeida. Those would be my 3 guys I'd wanna put in.
That's actually the same thing I would put in too, because I feel those are guaranteed, you know, wins. I feel that way on those.
Mine would be Aljamain, Sara McMann, and Felder. Those are my 3 that I think.
So you see, I
think are gonna win.
I mean, the only person that's unanimous across the board is Aljamain. That's it. You know, me and GI got the 3 same guys, but Franklin's other 2 are different. So it's tough. You know, it really is. But we try to give you that little extra right there to help out a little bit, maybe when you're trying to design some cards. Good luck to everybody on that DraftKings. This is a toughie. I'm in New York. I can't play, but you know, I wish you 2 luck and everybody out there luck. So, and New York Attorney General, stop the nonsense. I'm hearing my DraftKings back. I don't like this.
Bring the DraftKings back,
please, please.
Figure it out.
Yeah, so all that happens. All that happens tomorrow. You know, it starts at 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern.
No, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Pacific, actually. Yeah,
listen,
6 p.m.
I
Eastern.
want to touch on this now that we went over this card real quick. Just when it comes to the DraftKings, right? You know what's the most ridiculous thing in the world to me? I know that a lot of people, you know, are anti-gambling and they view it as gambling, but the lottery is legal in every state. And what's happened in New York is that the Attorney General of New York basically is the one that shut it down in New York. If you're going to shut that down and you're going to use gambling as an excuse and that people have problems with gambling, then you need to shut down the lottery, bro. Like, seriously. Somebody could go out and spend $200 a day on lottery tickets, but I can't spend $3 on DraftKings to play MMA? That's crazy, man. Like, make it across the board.
And it's fantasy. It's like fantasy drafting and stuff.
And
I'm saying it's not.
I know exactly what the problem is. No, you know, the true problem with this has nothing to do with gambling. The true problem is New York ain't getting their money out of DraftKings.
Yeah.
That's the real problem. And you know, whatever DraftKings has to do, and also the other one, I don't play the other one. What's the other one? FanDuel, yeah. I started with FanDuel originally, but I went to DraftKings. I like it way better, especially now that they have MMA. But, I mean, you guys need to sit down and talk with these states or whatever, whoever's blocking you and stopping this, and work out something where, whatever, even if you give them 10%, I guarantee you they're going to put you back in, even if they put a limit on how much people could play in the state, whatever. Get it back in, you'll make more money, pay out the states. That's just the politics, the way it works,
it's man. New York. Just the amount of customers they have there in New York would make it. I'm saying it's true. Just give them a bigger percentage, whatever the heck it is they want.
Right now,
you're still going to get a boatload.
I think they have to pay income tax, I would guess, on you know, on the money that they're actually profiting. But I guarantee you, New York wants a cut of the pie, period, or whatever it is. It's all politics and greed on the part of the states.
Greediness, man.
If I find out that DraftKings is back and they're paying New York, you know, whatever, 15-20% of their winnings that come out of New York to be back, I want all the potholes fixed in my roads, damn it. You're making that extra money, do something with it. Don't just put it in your pockets. All right. That's my rant.
I grew up with a pothole, so... And that pothole never left until I moved out. So
yeah, man, it's ridiculous, man. Like all this money we pay. I know we're getting off the fight rant topic. I'm sorry, a little bit, but it sort of is since we're talking about DraftKings and whatever. But I mean, the tolls are $8 to cross a bridge in New York City now. $8.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And we still got the same amount of potholes as when it was $4. So where's my money?
Do you guys still have the 9/11 tax?
Nah, that I haven't seen. Not anymore, anyway.
Okay.
But
'cause I remember that when I ran from the buildings. I almost died because of the buildings, and then I get home a few weeks later, and I have a tax, a 9/11 tax. I was just like, what? This is ridiculous.
I think that was to rebuild the area and whatever they were trying to, which whatever,
Listen, man, but that rebuilds the area, but that didn't pay any of the bills to go to the doctor and get all the cement and all the stuff taken out of my lungs and all that. So it's just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. With all the taxes that you pay in New York, you didn't need to add a 9/11 tax. But hey, whatever. At first they said it was for security, and then it was for something else. So.
Yeah. Bring my DraftKings back.
What do we have next?
That's
Lee was making money off that DraftKings, huh?
Talking about coming back, one person that's coming back, and that's tonight. It's Shane Mosley. He's doing a USA versus Russia battle. That's gonna be live on CBS Sports. That's coming from Glendale, Arizona.
GI, hold on, but let them know that Mosley said he's the best he's ever been right now. You got to put that in there, bro.
Yeah, he said he's at his prime right now. So best he's ever been.
At the top of his game and feeling 100%. At 44 years old. I mean, I guess he's feeling 100% compared to the last few fights he's had above 40 maybe, but
and I said, I mean, I spoke to Sugar Ray real quick, and he had something to say. He just want to get his word in. Sugar, what do you think? Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just retire. Go home. Let your son do it. Stop it. Thanks, Sugar. Thanks. I mean, come on. I'll give him that. His son is pretty good. And I don't know if he's doing this to, pump up his son and get him out there and stuff, promotion-wise.
If that's the case, I understand. You get more viewers for your son.
Yeah, I understand it.
That's fine.
If not, I think the legends should remain where they belong, and that's as legends. You can't remain as Superman if you come back and get your ass whooped by, Peter Pan. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. You no longer, you lose that flair, So I don't really want to see people like that coming back. Roy Jones Jr. did it, and he got knocked out the other day pretty badly, and
he got knocked out to another dimension, bro.
Yeah, and he still insists on boxing, and it's like, we don't need you to do that. I don't know if it's financially. Write a book.
Let me explain the implications of this fight, right? So, David Avanesyan and Shane Mosley are fighting tonight. And the winner of that fight gets a title shot, mandatory WBA title shot, against the winner of Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter. That is what this fight means to the winner of this fight. So
what the?
I mean,
and Avanesyan is considered the WBA's #1 right now.
Yeah, and that's rankings. Why if Mosley can defeat him, then I guess that gives him the title shot coming up at whoever wins the title between Thurman and Porter. So.
And I mean, I don't know if you guys seen our top 10s. It kind of defeats the purpose when somebody that's a legend comes in and just pretty much interrupts a flow. It's just like when with wrestling, where the regular wrestlers that are trying to step up and move up and become something get upset because the part-timers come in, even though it's necessary to promote more, like The Rock and Brock Lesnar. It's necessary. but they get upset because, hey, I'm trying to become what you are, and you're kind of getting in the way of that. And that's how I feel about this. It's like Mosley Sr. shouldn't even be fighting a #1 ranked fighter right now when the guy is trying to come up and become somebody.
I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate here on this one, only because Mosley won his last 2 fights. I know they weren't against great competition, but his record and his legendary status does supersede him. So, I guess if you want to throw him a #1 contender, I'm not too upset by that, especially considering, the current state. It's a name. He's got a name. It's okay. I just think that it's kind of more Mosley's fault. Like, he's got to know when his time is up and step away. But if he is doing it to get his son exposure, that's cool. His son, I've watched fight. I think his son has a lot of skills. He looks like he could be a very, very good boxer, man, with a few more fights going in. And his son is also on the card fighting. So, I'm interested more to watch his son than to watch him fight. But I will watch the fight, and, we can report back on it and what we see. But
it's just sad to me because I'm a huge Sugar Shane Mosley fan.
Me too, man. I loved Mosley in his prime.
It's just sad because if you listen to him now, he pretty much just slurs and mumbles, kind of. He's what, 44?
44, yeah.
By the time he's 50, I'd be surprised if we could even understand him. I mean, I have great respect for him. Even to this day, it's just, hopefully by the time he's 50, him and Roy Jones are still there, bro. That's all I can really say, man. Yeah, you have to respect what they do, what they brought to the game, what they've done for the game, just combat sports in general, man. But, man, hopefully they're intact when they finally decide to hang it up, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I think the way it should go, it's amateur, pro, legend, trainer, and then you keep that flow, and you have generations and generations of great boxers being bred by not just promoters or people that are hungry just to make that good cash flow, but by actual fighters who know and have been there. Mike Tyson is also one of those that should be, he should be a trainer, or Roy Jones should be a trainer. Look at Floyd Sr. Great trainer. I mean,
Roger
he has his son, and he has De La Hoya. He had De La Hoya.
It sucks because Mosley, he doesn't like training. He said it before. I heard him. That he doesn't like training, like being a trainer, training other guys. He doesn't like that. Roy Jones doesn't either. Tyson, I don't believe I heard anything from Tyson. But
see, here's the thing, right? Like, I guess if you don't like it, then it's not good because your heart isn't in it. But if more fighters that became legends in this respect, like Shane Mosley and Roy Jones, guys like that did train fighters, and I think you'd actually attract more talent to boxing than there is now too, because kids can grow up and say, I want Roy Jones to train me, I want Shane Mosley to train me. Those were my idols growing up, and I think you get more guys into boxing because they know I got a chance to go to Shane Mosley's gym, or Oscar De La Hoya's gym, or Bernard Hopkins' gym. Whoever it is that you truly grew up a huge fan of, and have a chance to possibly be trained by them if you put in hard work and effort, and they could assemble a staff underneath them of trainers to start off with, guys that are more green, and then when they progress, they could end up, if you're good enough, hey, Shane Mosley's going to train you, or hey, that I think that type of alignment with the sport after you finish, a career as great as Mosley's has, or these other guys, would really help keep boxing flowing nicely, because the talent level right now is,
I agree. I agree.
And it's always been traditionally that way, because if you look, you look at wrestling, Yeah, Shawn Michaels was a trainer. I believe he still is. Every wrestler had a chance to be a trainer. Every wrestler that was interested and had the love for the sport, you know, it has become a trainer. If you go to any of the arts, Kung Fu, Jeet Kune Do, straight up BJJ, all those things, you have these legends training people. Royce Gracie, you know, they're all training others to become, if not equal, better than them, and keep that name going, you know. Yeah. That's why the dojos are after each one's names and things like that. And boxing had that at one time, but the problem was money. Money was the problem. You know, promotions. Now the legend doesn't want to become a coach or trainer. He wants to be that and also be a promoter, but at the same time doesn't really want to pay too much attention to training because he wants to make sure that his promotions are there and he's getting more money out of it. It's less of the heart of it and more of the greed of it, and that's where boxing really that's a big fault of boxing. Everybody else does that, and still to this day it continues to do that. You know, even somebody as young as Santino Marella has a gym in Canada where he's training mixed martial arts. Guys, he's a wrestler, but he did train as a mixed martial artist. But traditionally, because they teach you that way, he wanted to become a trainer and train people and move it forward. You know, the Gracie line is ridiculous. You know, Nick Diaz, you got all these other great fighters. You know, you have Bruce Lee comes under Ip Man, and that's the way that it should be. But boxing itself has lost that touch with traditional training, and is more in line with the money base of it, and that's where it hurts.
Even Rocky trained Apollo's son. Come on, guys. Get it together.
Yeah. No, it's crazy what Jay was saying. It's crazy that Tyson hasn't tried to pass on what Customato did with him and find a boxer of kind of like his own qualities and try to make him like the next Tyson with the peekaboo and the Customato kind of training. Yeah. It is weird that we haven't seen anything like that.
But I think in Tyson's case, you know, I don't know how good of a trainer he'd be. He's a little bit of a loose cannon there, you know. That's the only problem.
I mean, I think he retained almost everything that Cuss did with him.
I do too.
All the training, all the training aspect, like all the little tricks that Customato did with him. I'm pretty sure he remembers them all. I guess he's just not into training. I guess I'm not sure. I've always wondered what Jay was saying though. Why? It's kind of like, why hasn't something stemmed out of that Customato, Mike Tyson kind of thing? Like, why haven't they found somebody else that they could pass that on to? Make him a freaking freak.
Look at De La Hoya. If he really wanted to, he can create or recreate somebody very close to what he was at his prime. But the reason why it doesn't happen.
You know who he had that he was trying with? Victor Ortiz, but
Greed takes it over.
He's been kind of a loose cannon himself. Mentally, he was never really there.
Yeah, and that's a shame. It's a shame, and it's an issue. But hey, this is one of many things that boxing has issues with, and you know, it's why the sport is such shambles at the moment. So. But yeah, you have that tonight if you guys want to watch it. Shane Mosley Sr., then you get to watch Shane Mosley Jr. with another great list of up and coming fighters. And
that is on
tonight.
CBS Sports Network, guys. So I know it's a little bit of an obscure channel, but it should be on most providers if you just look up CBS Sports Network. I think if you go to CBS Sports Network's website, you can even put in your zip code and your provider, and it'll give you a channel for what it is in case you don't know what channel that is for you. So.
Rumor has it that Canelo is looking to get a fight with Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's another thing that is kind of like, that's also another agreed thing to me. Obviously, Pac-Man is not interested in boxing anymore. He's into his politics.
He let go.
He let go of. Yeah, he want to see it, and he let go of the interest of being in the Olympics for boxing, which he really wanted to. So when Canelo puts something like that, it shows that it's about the money, and that's where it's upsetting because there's plenty of other fighters that you can fight and build a sport than to keep dragging the legends back into the sport to try and get to milk them as much as possible. And Pac-Man and Floyd Mayweather, they can still come back and do it, but do I want them to? No, not really, because then we're just lingering on what the past and not what should be the future, and that's why we're hurting.
Let's touch base on something else random. I'm going to bring back again because it keeps popping back up everywhere, and we have different trainers and different combat fighters and leaving their opinion on it, which is once again the Mayweather versus McGregor. And I just want to end this with that. The only way to legitimize that fight, because everybody keeps saying it's not going to be a legitimate, it's going to be a joke, and it's true. If it's a boxing match, it's going to be a joke. The only way to legitimize this is, and I hope this gets out there, this is the only way to legitimize this. All striking goes match. MMA gloves in an octagon, 5 rounds at 5 minutes apiece. All striking goes, 0 grappling. Kicks, punches, elbows, knees, Muay Thai clinch. That's the only way that fight will ever be legitimate. Ever. That's the only way you'll see who's actually the best striker. That's the only way. That's the only way you can legitimize that. If Mayweather's not going to have that any other way, then it has to at least be, and this is not, it won't make it really all that legitimate. It'll legitimize it somewhat a little bit more. Is then if he still just, no, it has to be a straight up boxing match, then it has to be at least in an octagon, 5 rounds, 5 minutes each, MMA gloves, at least. But that's not really going to legitimize it that much. The only way to legitimize it 100% is, like I said, all striking goes, 0 grappling, 5 rounds, 5-minute rounds, MMA gloves. That's the only way you can see who the better striker is. Point blank. That would not surprise me if that damn fight did 5 million buys. Could you imagine the headline? Breaking news, UFC TNT co-promotion, September, blah, blah, blah. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Money Mayweather, all striking goals match. But trust me, the headline, everybody will go crazy. That thing will do like 5 million buys, man. Yeah, but it keeps being brought back up, and everybody keeps.
Like for me,
yeah, I'd be crazy.
I agree with you. To a certain extent, that legitimizes it. But I think in your version of it, all of the pretty much everything goes to McGregor. You're saying in the octagon, 5-minute rounds, MMA gloves, and all striking. So I think the only way you could ever really see this, I don't think we'll ever see it, but the only way you could ever really see it though is by concessions on both sides to some extent. In the scenario you give, Conor only has one concession, which is I can't grapple, and that's it. To me, I think you could make it where it's still legitimate if you make it, say, 6-ounce boxing gloves in a boxing ring with kickboxing and knees allowed, no grappling. But you can kickbox and throw knees.
Oh, kick! Oh, you can kick. So you could kick.
Correct. You could kick,
kickboxing match.
But your gloves would be 6-ounce boxing gloves, so you can't grab. You can't. You know what I'm saying? But you could do kickboxing and also throw knees. Something like that would work too. You know, like because
but
that way.
You know, now that's good. That's a good alternative. The only reason I say to me, to legitimize it, all striking goes with MMA gloves and 5-minute rounds, is because nobody's actually getting any of the tools in regards to striking taken away. You feel me?
No, yeah, I got
McGregor still has all his tools that he can use. Mayweather still has all his tools that he can use. And another reason is because, like I've said, like if you stand, let's say you watch an MMA fight, and you have like a hardcore boxing fan or even boxers, they'll say it. Why don't you pop the jab? Do it. They just automatically think that boxing would trump like anything. Oh, forget the shin kicks. Use your boxing. A boxer would have knocked them out already. Blah blah this and that. Believe me, they think that. That's why I think that an all striking match, that would be pretty much, that'll legitimize it. You'll see all the boxing diehards and boxers. Mayweather still got this. His speed is going to be too great, and they completely. To them, it overshadows any spinning cartwheel kicks to your head, any shin kicks, anything. You feel me? So that's why I really can't see anything being more legitimate than that. I mean, trust me, if that were to happen, man, everybody would be going crazy. What you said is good, though. What you said is good also, like a 6 ounce all enclosed gloves and whatnot. And you said pretty much so. It'll be like kickboxing, no clinching, right?
Yeah, no clinching.
But you like can a flying knee and kicks.
Yeah. You know,
that would still be legitimate. That would still be legitimate.
It's not gonna happen. Floyd's not gonna ask for that because he's not. I don't know if he knows how to throw kicks, but he's not gonna do it. He's gonna wanna have a boxing match. And it's going to be, if you want a cage, sure, Floyd won't care. Get a cage, whatever. But it's going to be a strictly boxing match. He's going to take away
Floyd
the
won't
legs.
even fight in a cage because he can't lean back on the ropes. You know, like for the defensive aspect.
He would get caught.
That's true. What I was talking earlier was my thoughts on this is I think it's more promotions and rumors to get their attention more than anything else, because I have a feeling that McGregor and Floyd are trying to start something on their own, and that might be something that might happen because I have seen that before. I've seen Floyd do it with WWE, and where he was trying to start a fight with one of the wrestlers out in the public area where the TMZ was picking it up and left and right. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, look at this. He's over here doing a wrestling thing. And he's had interest in getting into MMA. He's already talked about Bones Jones getting into that he should join his camp if he was to start one.
He's trying to recruit him, yeah.
So this might be just the whole thing where McGregor has said before that if he had his own that he could start his own thing for MMA, and who knows, maybe McGregor does have that interest. Maybe McGregor's pissed off about the whole situation with Nate and him and Dana, and him and Floyd got together, say, hey, experience in boxing, we both got humongous draws, let's do it. So that could be it. So if that happens, you heard it here. So that's my theory.
The problem with that is that, you know, you're talking about promotions there, and UFC doesn't really, they are their own promotion. So, you know, trying to get,
they can just create their own. I
know what he's saying. What Gia's kind of trying to say is that McGregor eventually finish all his fights under the UFC promotion and be like, you know what? I'm so huge. Mayweather's so huge, which they freaking are. And then Mayweather has the money, and by that time McGregor have kind of like the money to invest in opening up their own promotion. I mean, that could happen. That can very easily happen,
to UFC, bro. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, yep. Man. And then
like
and
King,
what you do?
They can call it
what you do,
KMM, King's Martial Arts.
They take like 5 of the best of each weight class, and they're like, bro, we're gonna give you millions, man. Let's start a freaking super freaking promotion here, bro. It'll happen.
You know how much money Floyd has?
Johnson, John Bones Jones, all the top light heavyweights, all the top heavyweights, they move over because, they're going to give you win or lose 2-3 million. Win or lose.
Yep.
And we're taking all the proceeds coming in. Like Mayweather's doing right now, that could very easily happen. That can happen, man.
Yeah, you need Mayweather's money for that.
Well, Mayweather wants to co-promote, and freaking McGregor's already making what? Like in the article it said he's making 16+ million per fight. That's not even including freaking pay-per-view buys. He's like he's not even halfway through his $100 million contract.
And those two mouths versus Dana's mouth, there's no chance for Dana. Those two mouths together. Oh my God, they would destroy Dana.
That could seriously happen. Like when you look at it for realistically, McGregor's like, you know what? I'm not re-signing. I'm gonna finish these fights.
They should recruit Ronda too if they want to do that. You get the three biggest mouths going.
They could. You think
McGregor's been seen with Ronda hanging around, so that's possible.
You think Ronda wouldn't do it? They're like, Ronda, don't sign another contract, and we're gonna do a freaking huge promotion. Guaranteed, you're gonna be making millions upon millions your next fight. Don't sign another contract. That could happen, man. But Mayweather money and the amount of people that he could get to pretty much start with his co-promotion company and stuff like that. A lot of promoters they'll come in and invest in that, man. That thing could take off. But the only thing bad about it is that once that happens, it'll be either you sign with the UFC, they have to up their pay by a lot, or everybody just start pulling out, and then MMA will turn into boxing. You feel me? Because that's what Mayweather kind of wants to make it. So it won't be like a league. It'll turn into a disaster that boxing is right now. So that is scary. That's scary though.
Yeah. And
MMA fighters like, nah, I won't fight him. How much can he give me? Nope, I won't fight him. I'll fight this guy. They'll be fighting chumps and still making millions. So that can't happen.
Tell you what, it's more possible. That is more possible that can happen than a Floyd McGregor match. I see it.
Well, the Floyd McGregor thing, I think it can happen. I mean, even Colin in the Fox Sports, he was talking about it. Supposedly, there's even a date out there for it. Who knows? Like, I mean, he did it with James Toney before, and he brought James Toney in, and Mayweather would generate a lot. I really think that Dana White would be like, you know what?
If Mayweather really wants to do it, he's going to have to cave in to Dana. Because you know how Dana is on the business side of things. He's not going to let you get everything you want. And Floyd is all about getting everything he wants.
Exactly.
It would take a whole lot of work.
They might be saying that it's getting to a close, but maybe it's getting to a close between Floyd and McGregor, but not with Floyd McGregor and Dana. And Dana is the key.
Mayweather,
I think if
he's tough in negotiations, but when he sees money that way, when he's like, this is going to be guaranteed. I mean, it's going to be pretty much guaranteed, like probably anywhere from 2 to 5 million freaking pay-per-view buys. And he loves money, man. Just because of that, they might come to an agreement, man. I just don't think anything's impossible.
No, it's not impossible, but I think if you really, the people's best chance to see this actually happen is when Conor actually finishes his UFC contract. When that's over.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but until then, I see it as way too difficult of negotiations to pull off and making that actually happen. And once Conor is done with his UFC contract, he can do whatever he wants. Then he might just do it all underneath Floyd's promotion. And, actually he'll probably just do a full-on boxing match for money, which I don't really want to see, but,
Yeah, I mean, he was I believe he was like an amateur champ in Ireland. That's what he started. He started boxing.
I mean, Floyd is Floyd. When it comes to boxing
it's just
myself. I'm sure Conor's a pretty decent boxer.
McGregor's been dedicating the past 10 years strictly to MMA, it's hard, bro. Like, just a strictly, man. I seriously think that a straight up boxing match, a straight up boxing match, would be such a joke. Now that I really think about it, oh my God, it'd be like a laughing stock kind of stuff, man.
You would just see what
I
you
wouldn't
always
even do
see,
it if I were McGregor,
Floyd
man.
on a bicycle, and Conor can't catch him, and that's it, you know?
Yeah. Frustration and just can't get anywhere.
A lot of tactics that McGregor's used to doing, setting up his combos with a kick and all that, you can't do any of that, man. It wouldn't be good at all.
Can you feint a kick just for fun, and then that way you make him scared of it? Then you throw the right.
I've actually thought about that exact same thing. Like if the fight happens, can he fake a cartwheel and just come with a punch? Hey, that'd be crazy, man. But,
can you at least give the man that? Let him fake throwing kicks?
Yeah.
Make you a little nervous?
The only chance he would have in that fight, if it's straight up boxing, it would be the MMA glove. And even like that, man, I see Mayweather winning. Only thing that sucks, not sucks, but I guess would be intriguing is that Mayweather can't, a lot of his little defensive tactics, they just won't work, those little gloves. But I still see him winning, man.
Yeah, Floyd. I still see Floyd winning too. He's smart. He's a smart fighter, man.
I wanted to touch base on that just because it's not going away. It's Teddy Atlas. It's everybody just keeps bringing it up. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
But I just hope that gets out there, man, and everybody starts.
Well,
did
you hear Teddy Atlas' strategy though? Teddy Atlas' strategy to McGregor. Oh, let Floyd come into you.
Come in and try to sneak a punch.
When has Floyd ever come into anybody? We'll be waiting all day.
you would have to like literally
like go back in the corner and
stand back like this. Yeah, and then Mayweather was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to go to him.
Yeah. You would have to outscore him in the first 2 rounds and then just do what he does.
Even that, I bet you all you would see is Conor goes in a corner, Mayweather lands one jab and walks back to the other corner and goes, unless you come at me, I won the round.
I got 2 points, you got 1.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It would be hilarious, man.
But yeah, that's all we got for today, guys.
Yeah, guys, listen.
You guys let us know what you think. Hey, if you guys want to put your picks up in the comments, do that as well. We write down our picks as well, and then we use them as bragging rights. So far Lee's been the most accurate one so far.
Champ is here.
Unfortunately, he couldn't make his dollars because he's in New York.
I'd be making money. Damn it, New York.
But hey, it's fun, and leave your comments on the bottom. Let us know what you think. Who would you pick? What do you guys think about McGregor and the Floyd thing going on? And do you agree about my theory? Do you think that's possible? What you guys let us know. We have the fights tonight again. Tomorrow we have the UFC fights going on, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we got Mosley fight tonight. UFC Fight Night 88 is tomorrow. And guys, please subscribe to the channel. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. Right now we're doing Fight Rant Live. We also have rumor rants. There's a wrestling rant just for wrestling that GI does. We got In This Corner when we talk about just boxing. We still haven't gotten our first random rant out there, but we'll get to that pretty soon.
So we're talking about everything, man. Bigfoot, aliens,
by the way,
ghosts.
By the way, we're looking for anyone that has any videos or pictures of aliens and wants to send them over to us. Or you guys want to get interviewed? Let us know. Hey, we'll put you on. We'll talk about it.
If you filmed Bigfoot personally, you gotta send the video to Franklin so that he can verify he has Bigfoot hair in his house. He'll verify if he has the same strands of hair.
Yeah, we're gonna get random rants all together, and that's what it's gonna be. Just random stuff about anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. Hit us up. We have our Fight Rant account. Torres at fightrant.com, gmail.com. Hit us up there.
No, it's at
or Lee or Franklin.
Yeah, GI's email is ftorres@fightrant.com. Franklin's is FHERRERA@fightrant.com. And mine is LEEAARON@fightrant.com. Also, one other thing we're gonna start too. I'm gonna start up a show dealing with like streaming, whether it's streaming sports, streaming movies, stuff like that, where I can explain to people how that's done. I'll definitely get some guests on the show for that. I know a lot of people that deal with that stuff in general. It's a pretty interesting way for people that don't necessarily have the money to buy every pay-per-view to be able to watch all the pay-per-view fights. Also, just movies, TV shows, whatever.
Yeah,
we know about
all those old TV shows you want to check out.
We're all FiOS subscribers. We all have cable. We all have everything. But we know how these things work, and we'll share some information with you guys on that as well. We'll catch you guys next time. Everybody enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I hope the 3-day weekend is great for you guys.
Sir.
If you don't have a 3-day weekend, sorry about that. And but enjoy it. At least get a little barbecue in. Have a couple beers, whatever you guys do normally to relax. Do it. And we will see you guys next time. It's Fight Rant Live, episode 13, on the way out.
Fight Rant, and we're out.
There you go. Go ahead, dude. There you go. Boom. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Say bye, sugar.